Hey, happy afternoon, Reaper fans. Welcome to Reaper ToolBox Live, where we paint a model that isn't even released yet for many months.
Correct.
But guys, we have it on the newest news from Mr. Ron Hawkins, art director at Reaper Miniatures Incorporated. We are told that the Dance of Death, which we are painting, will probably be out this summer. So not too long to wait. That's if it's in June, that's less than 6 months. So let us hope that that is true. I am, of course, Anne. I work for Reaper. I am here to say hello to you all and to paint some dragon wings today. I decided to jump right in and just decide to start on the other dragon, which means we're going to be kind of messing around because I don't know for sure what I want to do with the dragon yet. I'm just kind of messing around to see what works. I have a couple of ideas. Hello, everybody. Yes, it's good to see you all.
Also,
we do get a slightly... Oop, go ahead.
Oh, so for the giveaway.
Yeah. Oh, the giveaway.
I'll let you deliver. Although
Deliberate the giveaway?
Yes.
Delivery. Yes, that. Whatever. Hey, guys. So, today, excitingly, Justin was looking down the list of stuff we have lying around that we might find for surprise giveaways, and he, lo and behold, found some ReaperCon swag bags, which are always awesome. So, for every 5 subs we get this show, we will give away a ReaperCon swag bag, which I believe has miniatures and a paint water cup that usually is awesome, like mine here.
Yeah,
they have great graphics on them. They're fun little paint water cups, and they look very different from your drinking water cup, hopefully, so you don't drink your paint water.
There is some changes on them, I think, because we obviously, from when we make them originally, we run out of stuff.
Right.
But I do believe we plan on putting a couple of extra goodies in there.
Okay, so yeah, so
fill it out.
ReaperCon swag bag, which may be minus something, but then will be plus a couple something else. There we go.
And that's every 5 subs,
yes,
that's one.
Every 5 subs. And we got one, didn't we, right at the beginning? Didn't Robin Boy Wonder resub?
Yes, I will add Robin's to this, yes.
Drinking paint water, well, it makes you a colorful person, right, vaxar? But yeah, you should not drink your paint water. Non-toxic does not mean food grade, as I am, thank you for all the painting big dragons, as I am fond of saying often and, loudly. Non-toxic is not food grade.
These swag bags came from... So Lauren will often give me stuff that they have available to give away. They're the ones who found them.
Yes.
And
so
Lauren,
the internet department somehow found a secret stock of swag bags.
And Lauren, being as awesome as she was, said, you know what? I'm going to set these aside. And I'm going to put them on a list. I'm going to give them to Justin to give away to our fantastic viewers.
Yes, because Lauren is awesome, as well as being, extremely, intelligent and pretty and talented and on the ball.
And awesome.
Generally an ideal woman.
Yes, she is. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. All right. So, yeah, cool. I like the Nam cookie emoticon. That's really cool. That's a cute one. So, good. So that's what we're doing today. Oh, and we're supposed to make an announcement that we're going to have a bit of a swip swap tomorrow. If you recall, I originally told you guys that Aaron Lovejoy was going to be on to give us an airbrush lesson in the morning, but he and Liz had a hiccup traveling across the U.S. to get here, so he's going to be here in the afternoon instead. So for tomorrow at 11 a.m., Sadie's going to do her show, Painting Platinum, and then in the afternoon, 3 o'clock? 3 o'clock slot?
Yes.
3 o'clock slot, Aaron Lovejoy is going to be on demoing airbrush. So anybody who wants to use airbrush, and I totally should have remembered that to tell my my dudes this morning too. So if you're on the Reaper Discord, please post it on there for people who might have missed it. This I hope they tune in. But yeah, so airbrush tips tomorrow at 3 p.m. USA Central Time. So this time only tomorrow. We need you to paint a Sir 4 scale for all the shows to use. So we need a emoji, a Sir 4 scale emoji.
No, they actually want for every individual show they want a different Sir 4 scale painted up to use for
To use for just
scale
being Sir 4 scale.
Yes, correct.
So everyone should have a different Sir 4 scale. So Sadie should paint up her first Sir 4 scale, and Ed should paint up his with a house brush. And then I should paint up mine, extremely snazziful.
There you go.
Yeah, for those who are not on Facebook, Aaron and Liz were in a bad accident. They're both okay.
Yes, they're both okay.
They're both doing well. I cannot say the same for Aaron's Table Wars case. It apparently was quite crushed.
Yes.
So not happy there.
Nomad. Yeah, actually, I've been told, and based on my insistence that he do this, he should have the Badger Reaper airbrush ready to demo and show us. So everyone will see it live for the first time, functioning in action. You'd
settle for 1 Sur 4 scale. That might be within my capabilities, Twisted Oma. That might be within my capabilities. I'll see. I spent all of today like base coating Mr. Pale Dragon. So that's a lot of emoticons. That's a lot. Okay. And leave with Justin on the way out. So, guys, let's talk dragon. Let's not get too distracticated, because we got very distracticated this morning's show. Extremely. I don't think I actually started painting anything until 20 minutes after the hour. And we're going to be working on Mr. Dragon, Mr. White-ish Dragon. Everybody's excited about the custom airbrush. I'm very excited that you guys are excited. That is fantastic. I'm excited actually to see it. I think it's really sweet that Badger is being awesome and working with us on this. So many questions were answered this morning, yes. No, let's not even go there. You exhausted me. When I was done with that show, I felt like all of my knowledge had been yanked out of me and all my life force with it. So, now I'm just like, I'm so zen. Let's just paint a dragon. Right. Corsair, he is blue. He is originally a Templar, so I might have to paint him in his original colors. All right, are you going to switch? Yeah, to Wing Cam. Wing Cam. Yeah, good. I'm glad you guys are looking forward to the airbrush. So as you can see, I did some base coating, and this is pretty indicative of the color. So what I thought was that I would kind of invert the color scheme of Mr. Black Dragon, the Zen of Anne, the Zen and the Art of Painting Miniatures, Nomad Zeke and Corsair. That's what we should do. Anyway. So I'm going to invert it. So essentially what I had in Mr. Black Dragon was we had the blue-gray, you remember, on the underside of his wings. And I was planning to kind of, if I did white, was planning to use a blue-gray as the base anyway. And so I decided to just use a lighter version of the color that I used for Mr. Black Dragon. So, yes, good evening. Oh, hello, Lurker Spleen. Oh, I should mention that. Robin Boy Wonder brings up an excellent thing. If you want to throw questions at Anne instead of horribly distracting her during a stream, you should put them on the new Reaper Discord, which I think has a command on our Moobot in our Twitch chat here. You should put them in the, is it Questions for Anne? I think it's Questions for Anne channel. There's an Anne Questions channel.
It's Questionable Anne.
Questionable Anne channel. Yes, put it in there. Just random, little stuff that you thought of that you'd like answered is fine. Like what color goes best with this, or what color should I use to highlight that one, or, whatever. What is the airspeed of a European swallow, whatever. I won't be able to answer some of these. I'll refer them to Ed instead. But you should put them in there, and that way, every once in a while, we can just do an and questions segment where I just come on and Justin reads down the questions, and I can answer all your questions as soon as we get enough to, to elaborate into a show on. So, yep, they're very good. Thank you, Moobot, for our Discord. You can find it in the chat. Do join us, the official Reaper Discord. We finally did it. We promised you guys we were going to do it. While we're sitting here, I'm just going to kind of like base coat. So yeah, so I decided to invert the color scheme, and this I just put on a real light base coat on the dragon, and then I decided to do the black. I actually experimented with doing these in kind of a medium dark blue-gray instead, and it just didn't look good. I didn't have a Ask Annie thing. Yeah, yeah. There are all sorts of Anne puns that are possible. Trust me, I've grown up with this name. But anyway, so I did try a light blue-gray, and then I was like, it just doesn't work, so I'm not going to do it. I needed more contrast. When you click on the link, Reaper's My Addiction has a problem, Justin. You'll have to help them. Try logging in to your Discord and then clicking on the link, maybe? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to use some of our green and purple colors on this black wing membrane and see if I like it. Because this is how we mess around. So we were using swamp green, for those who might not remember. The base coat is black, it's just a thinned black. We were using runic purple. And I might want some skin color toward the edge of this interior of this wing. I haven't decided if that's actually going to work or not, but I'm going to use some bright skin shadow and rosy skin.
Yeah, Reaper, I think you may need to accept the rules first, because I've heard of people saying the same thing what you're talking about, but then they had to, once they essentially accepted the terms of use, then it was fine. Then you had access to the whole thing.
Nomad Zeke, my boyfriend, would tell you there is no good pun. It is our probably our greatest difference, other than that he is exothermic and I am always cold. But somehow he tolerates me anyway, even as rife with puns as I am. All right, so we just mix up a few of these colors. You can't find Reaper at all. Reaper is my addiction? Weird. I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know enough about, because usually when I'm logged into my Discord in one window and I click on the link in another window, it'll take me right to where I need to be. But I'm not sure how it works on that level. So I'm just going to mix up my paint. Yeah, except that we're so close to Barracoon. Yeah, right? Yeah, to Barracoon, right. Otherwise, we're both very talented miniature painters with a great deal else in common. So we're only opposite in a couple things. Puns and temperature. He likes very cold temperatures, and I just do not share that love. Oh, okay, so Xanatonium says he just joined via the link. He did have to click the welcome page and then a green check mark. Dabber is fine? Okay. Endothermic. It would! Oh, Vaxar, I like that, and I'm totally going to use that, and David is going to give me the dirtiest look for it. Yay! Don't search in Discord, just follow the link directly, says Robin. I'm going to re-wet my paint on this wing membrane and start dabbing in other colors and see if I like it. I'm going to go green toward the outsides and then work toward purple and then work toward the skin tones and see what I can do. But I do want to re-wet my surface just a little bit because I'm kind of doing a stippling. I want to do kind of a stipple thing going on here, introducing some of these other colors. I don't want them to be like really strong either. I just want it kind of subtle. I do probably need some white, though. I need to make my swamp green just a little lighter because it's not going to show up otherwise. Boop. Tiny bit lighter swamp green. When you're putting a really dark transparent color over black, a lot of times it will not show up very well. Oh no, I splooged. Take some water and get that out of there. But yeah, so sometimes like this one, if I want my swamp green to show up a little bit more, I will add some white. Let me see if I can get that in light. There we go. Let's see. So you guys can see that's actually still really dark. You can see a little bit of it there. I'll try to bring it up. Maybe I can check my, what would I do? I don't want to raise the problem is I don't want to raise the brightness up because it's going to blow out everything. So trying not to do that. I'm going to try the trick we tried last time where we, see what I did there? Now you set that up and you grab your brush and then you blend it in a little bit more like this. I'm using a big fat brush for this just because I want big artifacts. I'm just playing. I do this a lot, guys. Like if I'm not sure where I want to go with model, I'll play with it. I'll see, you know, if I can get it to go somewhere kind of neat, or if I don't like it. So I'm gonna, in this case, I'm doing my olive, and then I decide I'm going to try to glaze my purple over it, like we did back on Black Dragon, if you'll recall. We kind of did that on his wings to glaze. Wow, this is coming up really dark. Take my word for it, because I don't want to monkey with my settings too much right now. But anyway, what we did is we built the green up to white, and then we glazed purple over it and got a lot of the purple. So we'll try that and see if I like it, because I want to do something with this black. I don't want to just leave it black, and I want the two dragons to look like they kind of belong together in the piece, in the art, since we are creating somewhat of an artwork here. I'm just going to dab, 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 dab. This is just stippling, I just want to get essentially a randomized texture. There's a little bit of kind of a just a tool texture on these wings, since Julie sculpts in green and not digitally. So I'm kind of mimicking that a little bit with my stippling choice, since I'm using a bigger brush. Now let's see what I can do with this. You're just here for the free. You don't love me, Mini Painting Studio? I'm going to be all sad and cry.
That's Josh, by the way.
Oh, I'm still going to cry. Very sad.
Speaking of which, since we have more people in here, just because we'll do another couple of these reminders. The giveaway today, because there is one once we get subs.
Right.
Right now we have one. But
we need more subs.
Every 5 subs, we're giving away a swag bag. That's going to have some extra goodies in it.
Oh, I kind of like this. It looks like Galaxy-wise almost. So sometimes with wet blending and stippling, you can get a really cool look, guys. Look at this. This is kind of neat. It's kind of odd. I don't know if I like it yet. I've got a lot of green in it. I'll probably have to glaze down the green. Just kidding. I forgive you, Mini Painting Studio. I'm just kind of playing around with things, making it look neat. Because really, I just want some interest, right? I want visual interest. Watercolor salt? Yeah, you could. You could, Mini Painting Studio, I'm sure. I mean, the only thing that might affect it is that paper is absorbent and our paint isn't really. So I wonder how that would affect the sodium, you know, since normally it dissolves a bit and soaks into the paper. Salazar. Thank you very much. Now we have a free. Justin will tell you when he turns it on, though. Yeah, well, wet blending with stippling is kind of fun, though, because you're not really trying for a perfect blend. You're just looking for visual interest. So I'm just going to keep playing because I'm kind of having fun here. I'll put some skin color toward the bottom. It's also a nice, fast way, relatively speaking, to set up a big area like this.
All right, it's live.
It's live. Do your hashtag freeze, everybody. Oh, I got a hair in here. I got to get it out. There we go. Yay! Everybody hashtag free. Get your freeze in. We're going to keep doing our happy stippling trick, which I'm kind of pleased with. At least I'm pleased with. It's looking kind of cool. So that's neat. I should do that more often. Why can't I always paint galaxies on wings? Green and purple galaxies. Anyway, I'm going to let that dry, actually. Oh, and I have a hair still. Let me get that out of there. Get out of there, hair. Get out. Aha. I think it's probably a piece of my dog's fur, so blame Kiri. Yeah, it's kind of funky, isn't it? It looks kind of like galaxy-wise. A little less in person, but it still looks like it. So it's being very photogenic on camera. So once I glaze over this.
Dabber Raccoon. Actually, sub-only giveaways are illegal. So,
oh, really?
They are. You see them talk about it all across Twitch, but you're not supposed to do them. No, it's open to anybody and everybody. Now, to type hashtag free in the chat in order to enter, you do have to be a follower. But that's okay because it's completely free to do that. So
that's right. So you can't pay to play. You can't have a pay to play.
You can't create a barrier for entry that has monetary value.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's nice, actually. Let's see. Got some pretty purples going on and some pretty greens. And I'm going to glaze to bring it down a little bit. Now, the downside of having a dark wing membrane is that you can't do the veins effect that I was doing on the other one. So that is somewhat of the downside of doing doing darker wing membranes. But we already did the veins on the other dragons, so I'm not so concerned about that. All right, well, I'm gonna let that dry, and then we glaze it. I think it's pretty. It's like, I don't know if it belongs on a dragon, but it's attractive, so we'll see. Wouldn't look real then. It would look like lightning, Nomad Zeke, because half of the visual cue for realistic veins is that you actually have that hint of red. Otherwise, they do not look like veins. It'll look like lightning bolts. So that's just a thing. You make that choice when you're doing the dragon. The only way to do veins on a dark colored wing would be if I started very dark, blended up toward very light at the middle as if the wing was going translucent, and then essentially did veins kind of going into that lighter area. Then you could pretty much, then you could pretty much get away with the vein effect, but you'd still lose it at the sides of the wing. And that's just, I mean, if you look at bats' wings with the light behind them, it's a lot the same as you're going to see the veins in the thinnest area a lot more. But yeah, when I decided to go dark, I decided I didn't want veins. We have plenty of veins on Mr. Black Dragon. I haven't decided who's good, evil, or if they're both good, or if they're both evil, by the way. So I'm going to put a glaze over this of purple, I think, to bring the green down, because the green is the part that I'm not as thrilled about right now. And it will also make this more purpley, and then we'll see. Actually, I was thinking about wing tattoos, Dabba, for, I have a succubus project at home that I was kind of working on. I actually wanted to tattoo, it's the Scar bust from Privateer Press, and she's very piratey, so I was actually going to tattoo a treasure map on her wings, because I gave her wings, because she's not Scar anymore. Now she's a pirate steampunk succubus, which is just as cool, if not more so. But yeah, I wanted when you're doing a big piece and you want everything to look like it goes together, it helps sometimes to repeat colors. So that's why I'm doing this with these wings. That's why I'm trying it out to see if I like it. And if I do, then we'll go with it, because it'll help tie this dragon to that dragon, along with the blue-gray color that is on the other dragon's wings that is on this dragon's body. Yep, they could be. They could be Achilles blade. I tend to like high fantasy, so for me it's like, Or yeah, they could both be whatever. They could be purely unique individuals with various and complicated values and goals. How about that? But right now they're pissed at each other, so that's really, yeah, or who gets to eat the adventurers? Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe they're really hungry. I should probably show you guys the rock a little bit more too, because I painted part of the rock on stream, and then I rocked out in my office instead to finish it. Haha. Let's see here. I'm gonna glaze with my purple here. You can see how thin I brought it down. Really, really, really thin. I'm gonna essentially paint it over this whole area. Really, I don't want it to pool at all. I want to just glaze. Glazes you don't want to pool, because if you do let them pool, they will dry and in rings and crazy artifacts. So I'm going to pull off any excess toward the outside of the wing and let that layer dry. And I always start pretty subtle with it, because it's easy to put one more layer on, but you can never take a layer off without repainting everything. So there we are. Kind of liking the way this looks. If you need to pull paint off after the fact, like you notice a blob that you missed, try to do it from the outside edge so that you don't touch the interior surface, or you can strip up paint. So I really like how this looks.
Thanks for the tier 1 sub conversion. Yeah, that counts towards the thing. So now we're at 7.
Yay! We have 7, so we need 3 more. Yeah, they're fighting over whether to prime bones or not. Yeah, that's the great new debate, right, Corsair? It used to be black versus white primer. Now it's like, do I prime my bones or not? And, you know, the internet explodes. Personally, I have never primed my bones, so I am, I guess, in the do not prime your bones camp. Just wash your bones. That's the way I go for it. I like gray primer, so I'm laughing. Gray is actually my favorite primer color. I use the Tamiya light gray a lot. All right, I mixed up a wash previously of like a kind of a medium gray blue, and just like with the other dragon, all the blue on him is blue liner plus white, so I'm doing the same thing on this dragon. I want these wings are folded over or they're turned, so essentially I want all of this area to be darker anyway than the upside of the dragon. So I figured I would put a wash on the underside of the wings and bring out these scales a little bit more. And then I'll kind of compare it to my wing membranes, decide if I really like it. Yeah, Tamiya primer is the only primer I've ever used Corsair that does not react to adverse weather conditions. I've never had it go fuzzy, and I've never had it go weird, even when high humidity strikes or really cold weather. So. And it's the smoothest. A lot of people don't like it because it is very smooth, but I always use it for competition jobs.
Thanks for the sub, Lebrowski.
So we're just brushing this wash over, and unlike a glaze, with a wash, you want it to pool because you want it to bring out the details in the sculpt. And I'm using a big fat brush to do this, and I'm loading it up with wash, and I don't care if I have a little extra. That's not a big deal. I'm getting a little bit of bubbles. That's easy. If you get bubbles with your wash, just blow, and they disappear. To avoid bubbles, make sure you're not using a really stiff brush. This is a pretty soft brush. This is a sable, but every once in a while when you go over raised detail, if you go fast, you're still going to get bubbles. So just blow on them. But try not to use like a Taclon unless you go slow, because the stiffer the brush, the more bubbles you will create. And I'm just gonna, we're just in our zone today. We're in our dragon painting zen zone where we experiment with our new friend, Mr. Pale Dragon. He will probably be a white dragon by the time I'm ending. Interesting. And I'm just gonna paint down the struts just to be consistent, even though there's not much detail to bring out there. But I wanna, the gray-blue color Zenitonium is blue liner plus white, and this dark one, the dark color that I'm washing with, is actually a 50-50 mix. So it's 4 drops of blue liner and 4 drops of white, and then made into a wash by adding brush-on sealer and water. Blue liner is 9066, and can be used just like a regular paint. It's just also a liner. So it itself tends to make very good washes because it's a little bit more fluid than your average paint. I'm just going to go touch up after I slop the edges here. Which is the good thing about washing while, all this is just base coated, obviously. It just doesn't matter if I'm a little sloppy, I can just touch it up. There. All right. Oh, and the top part of that. There. Doot, doot. Kind of like all the cool colors in there. I think I'm going to do another glaze. Yeah, when you're in a really high humidity area, then you're kind of, it's kind of hard then. Wash medium. No, actually, wash medium is just pre-mixed for you, Zenitonium. So it's a slightly different ratio. It's actually closer to what I use now. With a higher proportion of sealer. But yeah, it's essentially made so you can use that right out of the bottle, which is the sealer, though it needs a little doctoring. So it's up to you. But yeah, they're a very similar beast. We just wanted, I kept having to give people the formula for mixing the brush-on sealer into washes and stuff, and so I was like, why don't we just make this and give it to people? That way people can decide which they want. But yeah, wash medium can be added directly. You usually want to add about, I want to say 5 drops of wash medium, 1 drop of paint, and then kind of doctor it, kind of judge to see if it's as thick as you like. Everybody likes their washes to be a little bit thicker or thinner. It's very much a personal preference thing. I kind of like this. Kind of like how this is coming out. All right. So do just experiment and see what you like. I'm going to do one more purple glaze to take down my green a little bit more. Now see, that would be a wash if I left that puddle, I'm not going to leave that puddle. I'm actually going to dry off my brush and spread that out a lot thinner over the surface. We do not want to leave those big purple puddles because they will dry in weird designs because we've thinned the paint so much that we've broken it. And you want to get it real thin, pull it off of anywhere, blow on any bubbles you see, if you did get bubbles. And it looks like we're pretty good. And let it dry. Let that sucker sit and do not touch it. We've taken down our green a little bit. You can see a lot less green now. A little more subtle, a little more subdued. So it goes, I think, with the blue a little bit better. Yeah, Stynylrez res is good also. Yes, actually, Daba, Corsair is correct. It's a trick that I used to use when I was in Chicagoland or in Wisconsin, where it is regularly very humid and also very cold. The important thing is to have everything at the same temperature, so keep your primer and your mini in room temperature. Step out to spray them quickly, and then take them right back indoors to dry. Another trick we used to use in really bad weather was to stand in the open doorway, although this will drive your mother crazy, and spray out into the weather and then pull the minis inside to dry. There are many raccoons in here, obviously. We need even more. Yes, write copious notes. See, even when I try to go info light on a stream, apparently we end up with an info heavy stream. That's all right. I kind of like these wings. I think I'm going to keep going with them. Let's get our green down. Now we can go much faster because we've already tested our proof of concept. And I want to get some green, purple. A little bit of that, dab it all on. And then get our brush a little damp. And stab it. Stipple the heck out of it. Go crazy. Get a little nuts. Make some paint artifacts. This does not require precision. This design does not require precision. Yeah. All right, so I got a little purplier and pinker on the other one, so I'll get a little purplier and pinker on this one. And while I've got wet paint down, I can keep adding layers essentially while I've got wet paint down. Let's see here. I want to add a little bit more up there. I definitely need some white because that's what really blossomed my other piece. Just adding that white space. And then blending it in. Yeah, this brush is definitely Stippler the Annihilator. You are right, Bug Lips. I'm abusing it too because it's actually a really nice Kolinsky, but because it's big, I don't use it for anything other than like base coating. So it's like, was that impulse buy larger brush that I was just like, nah, yeah. So I'm abusing a Kolinsky Sable. An expensive brush is being, I cannot state that no brushes were harmed in the making of this stream. It would be erroneous. It would be misleading. Justin is tired. I can hear yawnies over there.
I'm drinking my drink here.
Attempting to wake himself up. Painting galaxies on wings is not exciting enough for him. He needs some real adrenaline, guys. Yeah, $100 stippling brush. Not quite a $100 one, but at least a $20 one. But you know what? If it was between using it to stipple and not using it at all, I'll use it to stipple. Hashtag yawn. Sup. Not much is up. The lidande. Do we ever give away brushes? I don't think we have given away brushes actually in the past. When I did the terrain for this piece, we gave away some of the flats because they're really useful for that. I don't think we've ever given away our Kolinsky brushes because we honestly have such a hard time keeping brushes in stock, guys, because they sell so fast when we get them in. So I think that internet might kill us if we gave away brushes for free because we already have a hard time keeping them in stock. Lighter. I'm just playing at this point. Like, this is pure art. This is like playing. This is like trying to like do a Monet, like, you know, pretty spring flowers pattern on dragon wings. Like, why not, really? Oh, that's an interesting pattern. I like that. And sometimes you'll just get interesting shapes and you just go for it. There. It's kind of interesting. Visual interest. And I could always doctor this and make it a little different down the road. What brush am I using? I am brutalizing currently a Da Vinci Maestro. Yes, even my favorite brush company. A Da Vinci Maestro size 2, series 11. Series 11 means that it's a thicker brush called a full-bodied round. So it's still a round brush like we're used to using, but it's a bit wider here in the belly. So it carries more fluid, which is what makes it good for things like doing the washes up here. And also for base coating a dragon, because it carries a lot of paint. You can go a long distance between reloads. And then the size 2, of course, means that it's quite large. It's longer than my fingernail, or about the same length as my fingernail. So that is what I am using a retired Android. I should be brutalizing something a lot cheaper, but this is what I've got. I don't have a lot of large brushes. So that is what we are doing. All right, I'm going to glaze that in a bit, but I'm going to do the other membrane. Kind of like this. This is kind of fun. Whew! Hey there, Bob and Julie have joined the party, green users. Yeah, Julie, I'm totally making your dragon have galaxies on the wings because, you know, I was out of ideas. But it's working, so I don't so much mind. Is it going to hurt you all now? Is it going to like hurt you guys to see me, now that you know how expensive the brush I am using is? Is it going to hurt you to watch me totally exploit it? What's even funnier is if I can still get a decent point out of it after this. Then you know it's a well-made brush. Oh, okay. So after the stream, after I'm done with my brush abuse, and after I've laughed maniacally a little bit, because, you know, it's necessary. Hold on, let me get my, that's kind of pretty, don't you think? Like, sometimes I think the Impressionists just were, like, after pretty brush strokes. Monet is totally glaring at me from his grave. All right, so let me get some water so I can mess those up a bit. Mess. Have to do the sound effects. Everything is a happy accident, right? Because you guys always call me Bob Ross. There we go. That's fun. That's good. We'll play with that. All right, so let's say that I am... It is pretty. I like it. It is like painting a flower garden on the inside of a dragon wing. I could show you guys how to... Oh, you know, I could do marble patterns in this. That would probably be too much. These are going on the underside of the wings, after all. All right, so if I'm done brutalizing my wings, and then I want to make my brush a little happier, first of all, I rinse it thoroughly. I examine it carefully to see if I've got any paint up here in the ferrule. I see a tiny bit of a dark line there where the bristles meet the silver, or the nickel, I should say, but not much of one. So I'm pretty good on that. If I do see a little bit more, or if I notice the brush wants to poof, then I'm going to wash it with some Winsor Newton brush cleaner and restorer, which means I'm going to dip it into that, and then I'm going to kind of rub it on my palette back and forth, pressing a little bit right where the hair comes out to work that solution up into the ferrule. I'm going to wipe it off then on a paper towel and rinse and repeat. After I use the brush cleaner and restorer, I'm going to wash it carefully in regular water, and then I'm going to just shape it, essentially. I am going to examine to see if there are any hairs that are coming off of the sides of it. I see maybe one, in which case I will remove those. You can repoint your brush with pink brush soap or with hair conditioner. And there are a number of other products that you could use to retip your brush and make sure that you reshape it into a nice point. This one is a little ragged at the tip, which it has been for a while. So I won't get a perfect point out of this one probably without removing some hairs. Hair surgery is a thing of delicacy wherein you take a knife, you isolate your hair that is causing you trouble. Let's see, there was a hair over here that was causing me trouble. There's one. It's uneven. I could tell that it's a troublemaker. And you kind of pull that hair out with your knife. You then slice it off by putting pressure of your knife blade against the ferrule. So you're cutting it off at the bottom. You never ever want to pull a hair out of your brush. Ever. Because it will deform everything there. But taking it off this way is clean, and you can get off any troublesome hairs and regain a bit of a better point. All right. Yes, I agree. Nobody works fast enough for Ron, green users. Viking funeral for the brush. I'm not going to set my brush on fire. It's still perfectly usable for making flower gardens on dragon wings. Why on earth would I ever set it on fire? All right, so let's do some purple glazes over this. Ooh, that's a very strong purple glaze. Okay, so then when your glaze is too strong, you see a lot of color shift when you put it over your underlying colors. We're going to do it anyway to see how it looks because I'm, instructing. So I can show you what happens if your glaze is too strong. This is more like a wash. You can see how very purple that made everything. At the same time, you can also see, I got to pull that off. We got extra paint there. At the same time, you can also see that I still have some green in there. It's just been taken down, and my brush strokes are not going to be as obvious. This is what glazing is good at. It's good at kind of hiding the artifacts of your painting. So if you see things, your brush strokes are a bit too much and you want to smooth them in, like if you're trying to layer and you're noticing that you see too many brush strokes, glazing is your friend. I'm going to actually take this same thing and I'm going to apply it on the outside because I've got a lot of green out here and I want to damp it down. You can see how much fluid this brush carries. I mean, a lot. It is a very big, fat brush. Big, fat watercolor brush. It's actually originally what these were for. Watercolor, some people use them for oil painting also. But I think the most common is to use these for watercolor.
Also, real quick, Miss Ann.
Yes.
Since we're approaching the hour mark for the show.
Oh, dear.
And I think we have our solid core of people in here now, finally, after we've all filtered in.
Do we?
The giveaway today is swag bags.
From ReaperCon.
From ReaperCon.
They may be missing like one thing, but we will add in more things.
Yeah, we are going to add some more goodies to each bag. Some random stuff. I'm going to let Lauren just go to town and add random stuff to the bags. So you might get some interesting stuff in there that did not come in swag bags.
Yep.
So with that being said, we are at 8 subs, so we're currently giving away 1 bag. Every 5 subs, we're giving away another bag. Now, resubs count, increased tiers count, bits count. I think that's it.
Okay.
So
yeah, so we need 2 more subs? Or
2 more
bit tiers? Or
200, yeah, so every 250 bits is 1 entry, essentially. Not 1 entry, but 1 sub, essentially.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you, Malin.
Yay! Now we have 2 gift bags to give away.
We're still 1 away. That was only 1.
Sorry, 1 away. My apologies. We need 1 more. There we go. There we go. There we go. There's minis.
2 bags. Not a problem, Avrilina.
Thank you. Yes, I'm just playing with these wings, but I kind of like how they're looking, so... And of course, you're not really going to see them unless you look under the dragon, at least not for this wing. This wing goes straight out. Hey, Justin, can you give me MeCam for a second?
Oh, I can do that.
All right, so this wing.
Also, as soon as we actually get some of these in stock, we're probably going
I
to be
lied.
giving
This wing
some
is
away.
the upside of the upright wing. You will see this wing. I thought I was working on the downside wing, but I was wrong. So let's see here. Yeah, all right. I'll turn Mr. Dragon around. See, guys, I'm getting there. Ooh, it
Brad
actually looks
test
pretty.
pattern with the 5 gift bomb. Oh, and thank you, Dabber Raccoon. That is another entry right there. So now we're at 16.
That's a very interesting wing effect. We'll see. Yeah, it looks good with this guy's purple and green on his wings too. All right, I'm sold. I'm happy with my Galaxy wings. I think they look pretty good. So yeah, so there is Mr. Galaxy Wing in action. Wow, lots of gifted subs. Thanks, guys. You're so awesome. But yeah, so there you go. You can see things are starting to come together. Mr. Dragon has been base coated in the light blue-gray. Oh, I can see another hair. This is the problem with bringing my dog to work. Kiri's hairs get on everything. But yeah, so eventually we'll be able to connect up the dragons. But yeah, so let's see here. And when you do connect up the dragons, remember to slot in the foot first. The foot is the hardest part. If you can get the foot positioning right, everything else works. The foot is really important.
I love that that's almost become a catchphrase for all of our streams now, which is spread the Reaper love.
Yes.
And it's almost become a little culty.
Yes, almost.
I like it.
Almost. It's drink the Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah,
culty. What color Kool-Aid? Red and black Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
For Reaper? Yeah. Give the dog a coat of sealer. No, please. She's so soft. Sealer would totally ruin her soft fur. Aw. You're just a baby painter. Don't worry about it, Lebrowski. You'll get there. I mean, this mini, maybe not the first mini you paint, right? But we have lots of little dragons at Reaper that you can use to practice on. I actually, one of these days, I want to give away another set of the one that I picked out for a previous one. All right. If we're not eating hearts enchanting by the end of the year, I have totally failed. That does it. Somebody needs to make heart-shaped cookies and bring them to ReaperCon so that we're eating hearts. And we can make a chant. Yes, spread the Reaper love, yes. Reaper cult Kool-Aid. Don't change it to spread the Reaper cult. That would be bad.
Different connotation, yeah.
Yes. Excellent. So yay. Dragons, dragons. Flying little dragons. Each one having currently only one wing, since I'm still working on the other. And I still need to do claws. A note about contrast, like since I went dark with the inside of this wing because it looks better, I'm also going black with the horns and claws on this light dragon, just to make them stand out. And I'm going light with the ones on Mr. Black Dragon to make his stand out. So when you are painting a dragon, think about that. Think about whether dark claws or light claws are going to stand out better. And you can still kind of bring up highlight the tips of the dark claws if you want. You just need that contrast. Because putting like pale ivory claws on a white dragon, they don't stand out. You don't really see them. So yeah, we're working. Yeah, Pathfinder Red Dragon is a nice practice dragon. I think his scales are really well done. So, all hail the Reaper love. Honestly, with the bones, you might just want to put a pin in there, do a pinning thing. I think Ed did last week on my show. He did a pinning demo. Putting a pin in helps, or you can use sticky tack. Although you got to be careful to get all the sticky tack, poster putty, mounting putty, whatever you want to call it, out of the recesses then before you glue it. I often will use sticky tack lava being if I want to take a photo of something assembled to just kind of check positioning, or if I'm trying to hold something together so that I can like zenith prime it like I did. I have a creature caster kit that's really big and intricate, so I used a combination of pins and then poster putty to position all her arms so that I could do the zenith prime. So yeah. I do think we need a Reaper t-shirt that is, we are not professionals.
Hashtag not professionals.
Hashtag not professionals, yes. I'm working on the Queen of Desire, Nomad Zeke. The big, she's really tall. She's like, I think 9 inches tall, 8 or 9 inches. Very, very large. I think she came out last year. I got her at Adepticon. She's sexy. Yeah, she is. But boy, she's so intricate. So intricate. It's going to take me forever. I'm doing NMM, brass NMM, because, you know, gold is too predictable. Let's see. Any questions? Because I think I'm actually gonna wrap it probably soon. Now they've got those dragons like sitting in front of you, waving their wings at the camera. There's my wing. No, Reaper does not have a brass and MM triad. That's what makes it so dang hard, Xanatonium. I had to figure out what colors to use to make realistic brass and MM. It's not easy. Brass is very greenish.
Miss Ann, then, if you're going to wrap it, let's take a few minutes now then for people to ask questions. You can answer some of them about the dragon, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, it's chill. It's an afternoon
It's a chill.
stream.
It's a chill stream.
You can relax and ask questions and hang out, guys. It's great.
Yeah, yeah.
In the interim, get your hashtag free in, since we're now giving away 3, and we
Yeah.
are 4 subs away from a 4th bag. So the community came together and gifted some subs and made some stuff happen.
Yeah, so we've got 3 ReaperCon
guys-
swag bags plus some random stuff.
You guys spread the Reaper love
Oh,
within
yeah.
the community.
Yeah, I was going to show you guys the base. Hold on, let me take dragons off. As you can see, they slot in pretty well. Yoop! Wing overboard!
You want to show it under the camera?
Actually, these look great. Yeah, we're going to show the base under camera. I'll show wings under the camera. There we go. All right, so let's see if it actually looks good. Yeah, we didn't dial in the white balance quite. Yeah, we didn't dial it in quite the same, but there we go. So this is how our rock base looks. My colors are a little off. Is the giveaway for the U.S. only? Good question.
Nope. Ed has not wanted to limit it to just the U.S.
So yeah, you can win
So
even if you are far away.
Shipping it everywhere.
Let me see. I'm going to go up a bit so you guys can see. There we go. I actually went to Yosemite, OMG Sticks, although my brother's on his way to Colorado and Yellowstone tomorrow. But yeah, I did Yosemite and loved it. I'd never been out to Yosemite before. Yeah, so the rocks are looking really good. So I used a combination of underpainting with some reddish tones and golden tones, and then came up with some khaki and off-white colors. And the base coat was also had blue liner in it because I wanted to kind of do it. So I did cloudy gray and blue liner, I think, to bring in a dark blue-gray base. And you see some of that here and there. You can see a little bit of the bluish color here. I'm glad you like it, Julie. If that oh wow meant that you really liked it, then I'm all happy because you and Bob sculpt awesome rocks. So I actually did a thing on it. But because a lot of like granite and other rocks have iron deposits in them, that's why I went with some of the reds for underpainting here and there. Because I think it really, switching up colors on rocks and introducing some reds and golds for those iron deposits really makes it look more realistic. I did not go through and really do some little highlights like on some of the little ledges like I did here. I haven't done that on the rest of the rock yet, except for some parts. So, but like this part, I need to do that. But yeah, this is a fantastically sculpted rock. And I am a connoisseur of rocks. I love painting them and I love sculpting them. So if you take it from anybody that this is a great rock, people, take it from me. It's an awesome rock. You might think that this is silly, except that my boyfriend could tell you that in Yosemite, all I was doing was going, oh my God, look at that rock! I came back with more rock pictures than I came back of anything else with Yosemite.
Just pictures of the ground, too.
Yeah, pictures of rocks. Literally, pictures of rocks that I could use for basing.
The Twitch Prime, by the way.
Oh, yeah. White on white issues. The way to get white to pop is to shade it a little bit darker in your shadows, Dr. Bob. Actually, I answered that earlier, Corsair. Washes are meant to settle into the cracks and outline details, like on the wing here on the light blue. Whereas glazes are meant to shift a color or hide brush strokes or blend things in, as I used on the wings here. They're not meant to you don't leave a glaze to pool, you leave a wash to pool. Washes are thicker, and often we'll add medium to them so that they work a little bit better. But washes are thicker than glazes. Glazes are very thin. Colored water. I'd have to see the project, Dr. Bob. white really varies for me. Like, it's actually unusual that I do a wash under white, but I wanted to kind of get some definition here, which is why I went really light with my base coat on Mr. Dragon. You see how light that is? If I just used white up from here, it wouldn't show up very well because you just don't have the contrast. But if I've got this color painted into the shadows, or washed on in this case because I was doing a shortcut, and I bring it up to white from here, you're definitely going to see the white. And as long as I cover most of the surface with white, it will still look white. All right. Yeah, I could add. Actually, what I was going to do with this guy, because it's big, right? I like to think that this is a really, really big rock, and the dragons are huge. But I was thinking about taking some of my swamp green and actually painting it onto the lower parts to simulate moss vegetation, that sort of thing. Swamp green is a fantastic color for that because it's very natural. It's like a very dark olive, very yellowy. 9175, one of my favorite greens of all time. It's also semi-transparent, so when you paint it over this stuff, you'll get kind of a glaze of green, but you won't have a whole lot. Yeah, if you want it to really look white, you probably want to go up to pure white. If you didn't do it for a living, we'd all be sad, Bob and Julie, because, like, you know, then we wouldn't get as many awesome sculpts. But yeah, so all right, looking for more questions. And rocks. Thanks, Dr. Bob. Or and rocks. Depending on how you say it, it's different. Yeah, an and project without swamp green is just not right. You're starting to, you know, it's starting to be that way, Dr. Bob. In fact, I should probably take my swamp green home and put it into my my NMM brass for my demon. But yes, so there we go, guys. Oh, it's been about an hour. We did good. We did all right. We zened.
I think so.
We zen zoned, considering I also did this morning show, which went a little long. I have been doing a lot of streaming today.
I don't know. Did you guys have fun hanging out with Ann this afternoon, watching
Yeah.
her paint on the Dance of Death, which is getting close to actually being finished?
Yeah, getting close. This summer, we will have an actual Dance of Death released. That's what we hear.
All right. I am going to go ahead and draw the winners.
Draw the freeze. Everybody get their hashtag free. He's going to draw. Thanks, Taz Lanch. I appreciate. Stream Queen. No, Julie rocks because she sculpted the rock. Well, and you'll have like hours of watching me paint these, Lebrowski, if you really want inspiration and or, you know, tips. You'll be able to watch this whole series when you paint your own Dance of Death, which is the beauty of it, I guess, is, you know, that by the time I'll be done with this, by the time the model is actually released.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and announce these winners in chat. I'm going to try to say their names
Congratulations, winner.
to the best of my ability, which is usually the issue. Our first winner is the Guillotine. This one is easy.
Sweet.
Second winner is svggphr.
Svggphr.
Yes. And the third winner is vaxar.
Vaxar. Oh, good. Yay. He of the great puns.
So what do they do if they won, Ann?
They have to email you at reaperlive@reapermini.com. They have to give you their Twitch screen name so we know that it's the same person, and their mailing address so that we can mail out the goodies. That's right, right?
Yep. And their
Sweet.
Twitch, their screen name is important that it's spelled exactly how it is on Twitch.
Yes, yes, yes. They've won ReaperCon swag bags plus a couple of goodies, random goodies tossed in, Dr. Bob.
Yes, you'll get some random goodies.
Random goodies. That's always good. Sweet. Yes, congratulations to everybody.
We're going to find a raid here quick for us.
Okay. I'm just going to hang out. See if there are any more questions. Because that's what I'm here for.
Ah, I know who I'm raiding.
Oh, you do? Do we have somebody good?
Yes, actually, I think this will be the first time we will have rated this person
Oh, really?
since they have rebranded.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
Thanks, Bob and Julie. Who is it?
It is Motor City Ray.
Oh, and what did he rebrand from?
He was Vanquisher originally.
Oh, okay, okay. We may have, I seem to remember maybe we got him one other time. I don't remember.
We had Vanquisher. I just don't know if we actually ever rated him since he
Oh,
became.
okay.
I don't remember.
All right.
But here it is. I'm going to go ahead and start the process of beginning the raid.
All right.
And
Bye, everybody.
remember, guys,
Thanks for hanging out.
spread the Reaper love.
Yes, do spread the Reaper love.
And keep being awesome.
Yes.
I'm going to add that to it.
Well,
We're going
that's
to do that from
effortless.
now on.
Our
Spread
people
the
are always awesome.
Exactly. Spread the Reaper love and keep being awesome.
Have a
All
good
right,
one,
guys.
guys. It was great hanging with you.
Have a good one.